How's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today we're on the Battle for Azeroth Alpha, gonna check out the first boss of the new raid, of the new expansion. As you can see, everyone's gathered up out here outside the PTR instance teleporter, getting ready for us to be teleported to the first boss and scaled up to 120. So we're gonna take a look at our stat priorities, things like that while we're in there, see if we can get a little sneak peek. So, let's do this. So let's go over a question we've been wondering for quite some time. Now, changing an item level and or changing gear slots such as chest piece, shoulders, and helmet, are different pieces going to give us different abilities within those items? And it seems so. I can't say for 100% at this point because there is a possibility that they just reworked the chest piece slot, but as of right now, we have different chest piece abilities with this piece of armor, which is a 256 item level, than we did originally on the other DK that had a 160 item level chest piece. And obviously this chest piece requires slightly higher levels than the original chest piece did, only granting the second ability at level 5 Azurite instead of level 6. So you can see we're capped off at level 5 at the moment, and we can't click any of these level 6 abilities. Now we've got Resins Fury, which is pretty sweet. I don't really know. This is kind of like a random ability going on over there, but your damaging abilities have a chance to call a child of Razan to viciously rend your target, dealing 382 physical damage and causing them to bleed for 304 damage over 12 seconds. That actually sounds to be pretty extreme. Not actually half bad. That extra damage would probably do quite a bit. Not only that, that little dot damage that Resins Fury is going to proc off, let's say if you're fighting a rogue in world PvP, would add bleed dot damage to the target, making it so he couldn't invis. That could actually add quite a bit to our DPS. As for the next one, we got Bone Spike Graveyard. That actually sounds really cool. I haven't read this before. That sounds really cool. Casting Death and Decay impales enemies on bone spikes. Bone Storm. Bone Storm. Alright, you guys with me on this? We're in ICC right now. And it inflicts 115 physical damage and healing you for 306 per enemy hit. Per enemy hit. Now, is that every time it procs, or is that just when you first throw it down? I mean, even if you're first throwing it down and you hit 5 to 6 enemies, we're talking, you know, a couple thousand healing, and his health pools right now, at least starting out, are about 15, 20, maybe 30k. That's quite a bit of healing just throwing down Death and Decay. Pretty extreme right there for blood DKs. Gotta admit, that is pretty cool. But the Frost DK ability that I've spec'd into here, you can see, is Latent Chill. Frost Strike deals an additional 344 damage if you have at least 3 empty runes, meaning that runic dumping with this current spec is going to deal quite a bit more damage than using Frost Strike staggering to begin with, because I'm going to get 344 extra frost damage out of dumping my Frost Strikes when I don't have any runes up. Pretty interesting mechanical ability right there. Did not expect to see something like that. As for the unholy thing, let's see what we got. Horrified Expulsion is a passive. When Dark Transformation expires, your unholy energy your ghoul is expelled. Oh, it just explodes. I mean, he doesn't die, but it just explodes, dealing 382 shadow damage to all nearby enemies. That's a pretty big AoE buff, especially for mythic scenarios or dungeon scenarios on a lot of ads, because there are just a ton of ads inside of the dungeons in Battle for Azeroth. That would deal quite a bit of damage. Also in PvP situations, it could pad them meters a little higher, adding, you know, just an extra damage burst at the end of your big Dark Transformation. As for the level 6 talents, I don't know if I'd call them. We'll go over them. We'll see if they're amazing. When dealt damage greater than 10% of your maximum health, gain 65 avoidance and 247 dodge for 10 seconds. Obviously, that's more along the lines for tanking, things like that. But it is going to add an extra last stand. I did see the 10% maximum health, which could be quite a bit of survivability and also world PvP situations. If you can use these in world PvP, I can imagine most likely so. As for the other talents, we got Long Strider. It increases your movement speed by 25% of your highest secondary rating up to 8%. That's really cool. Actually, that's really cool. It just increases your movement speed by 25% of your second highest stat up to 8%. Wow. That's just like a base stat increase. That's actually surprising. And I'm willing to bet the level 9 talent is going to be an Azurite, and it's just straight level item increase. Now, what I really want to know is, what is this 4th slot down here? I don't see anything in this 4th slot, this 0 slot. Are they going to put something in here? Is something going to go in there? I'm not 100% sure. But let's go ahead and check out these Azurite Shoulders. Now, these ones should look a little bit more like the original chest piece. It is a lower level shoulders, and as you can see, we are using Icy Citadel, which Pillar of Frost grants an additional 129 strength while you're above 75% health. Obviously, I'm going to go with that. That's going to be amazing for Frost, giving me more strength. Just give me more strength. And of course, we got Horrified Expulsion with the shoulders, which gives you the AoE at the end of Dark Transformation. Now, I'm not sure if these abilities stack. I'm kind of wondering that at the moment, if taking these stacks the abilities, because, I mean, that would be quite a bit of an explosion if you had all 3 pieces exploding at once. It would be actually quite a big hit. Like, we're talking in the thousands if you had a 3 stack of that. And it looks like we got Bone Spike Graveyard is also underneath the shoulders here, which causes those to erupt, that big old bone storm. But here's the last thing that isn't on the chest piece. Your damaging abilities have a chance to invoke a Tainted Swamp beneath the target, siphoning 2,712 health from them over until canceled. Well, I mean, if they stand in, it'd be really good. For PvE situations, that actually sounds like a fairly good passive ability. I mean, it would also matter how often it would proc, but that's a pretty big damage coming off, and that's a pretty good size heal. But it doesn't say how much damage it's dealing over time, or if it just does it instantly. I can imagine until canceled, it's more like a streaming effect. As for the level 5 Azurite talent, I'm gonna be using, when you take damage, you heal for 300 or 232. Cannot occur once every 6 seconds. Obviously, it's gonna be like a passive heal inside PvP situation combat. And the other one is, while no enemies are within 20 yards, you heal for 117 every 2.6 seconds. So that's like an out-of-combat heal. I really don't want anything to do with that one. I'd rather take the in-combat heal, definitely, whenever you take damage. And then, of course, at the bottom down here, we have increased the item level of this item by 5, which, again, is just like a basic stat increase for the item. And then again, we have this level 0 talent down here. I have no idea what's going on with this level 0 talent, or what's going to go in here. So that's kind of confusing. And then we'll check out the headpiece. The headpiece is exactly the same as the shoulder. We won't go into specific detail about it. Obviously, I think it's around the same item level. Yeah, it's only 232. It's not like a higher up item level like this chest piece is, obviously. And from the look of everything on the headpiece, it is the exact same talents as the shoulder piece. So that's very interesting to see. And I only think the reason that I received this this nice breastplate maybe is because of my level. I'm not really sure about that. Maybe everyone got it, but who knows. But it's really interesting to see some of these talents changed up, and I really want to do an update video for you guys to let you know what exactly is going on with these. And really, in the future, if these are changing up quite a bit, it could make some pieces in high demand based on just the off talents they have instead of really the stats. I mean, it's kind of getting a little crazy up in here. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying exploring this new stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little update of Azerite Armour. If you did, leave a like, comment down below if you have any questions, subscribe if you want some more Legion Frost DK content, and until next time, this was your boy Hazzed. Real quick, something we talked about the other day was legendary items and what Blizzard was planning on doing with them. And it seems the decision has been made that legendary items are now going to be turned off as soon as you reach level 116. As you can see in the red lettering just below the legendary item over there on my bracers. Okay, yeah, we were wondering what was going on with that. I predicted it was going to be at 119, but yeah, we're close enough. The only thing this kind of leaves in my mind, though, is what happens when a level 115 comes across a 116, or a level 113 comes across to a 117. Based on the power of some of those legendary items, it's going to be pretty hilarious to see, because I really do think a level 113 can absolutely destroy a 117 in a 1v1 situations with certain legendary items. So I guess we'll just have to kind of see how that turns out. I mean, obviously everyone's going to have them turned off at some point. It seems like the server's going to be going down for a restart here in about 5 minutes. Alright, we're in. Check it out, we're 120. It doesn't seem the stats have changed much scaling to 120. It looks like our health scaled quite a bit. Off stats, I mean, didn't seem to change too much. Main stats definitely did. And it looks like they scaled our Heart of Azeroth up to 288 at the moment. So we'll see what's going on with this boss. As you can see, I think just about every group is just wiping a lot right now, and I'm not sure if we're actually supposed to down this boss or they're really just mainly doing this for the stress test, but at least we'll get a pretty good look at him. I don't believe he's actually the first boss now that I'm getting a view at which boss it is. I think this is like the 4th boss. Oh, looks like we're going. Did not expect that. We're going in, we're going in. Popping some cooldowns here. Void Lash, interesting. I want to see Void Lash. Whoa! That was cool. I want to see it from like the tank perspective. If we died in mechanics, so be it. Alright, Surging Darkness. I believe this is where we gotta stack up. Yeah, inside, 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 inside. Stack up. So we don't die. Looks like you either gotta be inside or outside of it, and then everyone runs to the inside. Okay, okay. So range can stack on the outside, melee can stack on the inside for that. And it looks like we gotta deal a ton of ad damage as these ads come out right here. And then you don't want to be standing in front, obviously, because of Void Lash. Fairly simple boss mechanics for this fight. I can see why they'd have this as the first raid test. Okay, here comes I-Beam. You don't want to be standing next to each other. It's me, it's me, it's me. Did I run far enough away? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I felt like I got far enough out of there. Everyone just got messed up. Are those ads destroying everyone? Is that what's happening here? Am I going to have to go like Frostbite for this? I mean, honestly, for this fight with that many ads, Frostbite's probably going to parse the highest out of 90% of the abilities. So that was a fairly good attempt. We got the mechanics down. We got how this boss fight seems to work. But definitely going to take some trial and error to get this beast down. I hope you guys enjoyed those updates. We figured out quite a bit today, just testing out that first boss. I also figured out a few raid specs, things for single target, and a bit for AoE based on reviewing logs during those fights. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, comment if you have any questions. You might at this point, or you just might be mad at something or happy about something. Let me know about that. And until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.